Leo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-November 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as usual and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Leo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guides and spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Leos in early to mid-November? It's Scorpio season. What's happening? Please and thank you. What energies, messages, insights can we take a peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Leo in early to mid-November. What's happening? What are the vibes? Please. What's going on here for the lovely Leos? Thank you. Oh, all right. I'm surprised to see her because she showed up in the Aries reading at the very beginning. So this might be a fire sign thing this week for sure. We have the Queen of Swords, very straightforward, no nonsense type of vibe whenever she shows up in a reading. Now, I think she's generally a net positive when she's here. The energy can sometimes be a little harsh though. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. Now, I always like to mention the first deck we use is an oracle, so it's not a tarot deck, but when I see her, I always think Queen of Swords. Okay, so for some of you, maybe it's an air sign you're connected to, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius could be very possible that their energy could be important in this time for whatever reason. But I'll tell you some of the qualities I think of when I see the Queen of Swords. She is straightforward, like I mentioned, no nonsense, no BS, very honest, very truthful. So for some Leos out there, generally fire signs are in this energy to begin with, but I'm just letting you know that in this time, people might perceive you as a little extra to the point, a little extra blunt when this card shows up, and that could be a very good thing depending on what it is you're going through. I like this card because she is very intelligent. It's a smart energy. It's strategic, so we could be looking at plans and strategy. So for a lot of Leos in this time, whatever you're trying to move forward with or whatever you're dealing with now probably should be taken in measured steps when this card shows up. Now, I always say the challenge with the Queen of Swords is she can be a little mean, she can be a little cold. So for some Leos out there, maybe you're feeling a little extra aggressive when she's here, but we're just going to put her there for now. Let's see what Tarot has to say. And yeah, I always like to mention that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the lovely Leos. Let's get it going. Guides, talk to me. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Last 2 weeks in particular, it's like other people's energy was showing up more so than the Leo energy, which was very peculiar to me. Last week's reading was titled They Are Nervous, so it did feel like a very tense, wound tight type of vibe. So for some of you, whether it's someone you're connected to where they were like just really tense and anxious, maybe some of you were experiencing that as well. That's something I've been feeling in the collective for a few weeks now. There's been a certain tension in the air. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's. Let's get it going. 3 cards for the lovely Leos to start. What's happening in early to mid-November? Okay. High Priestess in position number 1. Interesting. Very interesting to start off with her because she is extremely mysterious in her ways. Let's get a couple more. Let's get a couple more here. So for a lot of you, that could be your intuition telling you something. Okay, Page of Swords, the Watcher of the tarot deck. Keeping an eye on something. For some of you, it's like there's a mystery afoot, and it's like digging to get details. That's so peculiar. Let's get one more. What do we have here for Leo? Thank you. King of Swords. So not only did we have the Queen of Swords come out showing up in the Oracle, now we have the King We have the page. So similar to the last couple of weeks, I'm seeing the energy of other people showing up in a very prominent way, unless these are energies you're stepping into. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I know I was giving some commentary as the cards were popping out. There's a lot of internal energy here, again, so similar to last week, because we have the High Priestess, which is water energy. So she represents the realm of emotion, feeling, intuition, all that good stuff, imagination. Then we have the Page of Swords, King of Swords, which is sword energy, air, the realm of the mind, the realm of communication. So this is all internal energy here. So just know there could be a lot of tension within when this energy shows up. Now that can be put forward to good use. These cards on the back end are extremely strategic. But the thing that I'm really eyeing up is that we have this card of mystery and 2 cards that could be planning something. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number 1, we are starting with the High Priestess. Now we spoke about her a little bit. Let's get a little deeper. We see this divine feminine figure. She is in between those 2 pillars, one which represents the dark, one which represents the light, the material, the spiritual. She is in that place of balance. The High Priestess is the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers, anything intuitive. She represents it. So just know in this time for Leos, male, female, or anything in between, your intuition could be heightened in a big way. Your energetic sensitivity could be heightened in a very big way with this card. Good energy towards anything spiritual, so spiritual practices and meditation, stuff like that, like deep spiritual exploration is huge with her. But she is a keeper of sacred knowledge. And when we get to the challenge of the High Priestess, is she is an obscured energy. She represents secrecy sometimes in harsher aspects, the unknown, the unexpected, the surprising, because she's not speaking, right? She's being very, very quiet. So we want to look at this further because, yes, it could be very good, but at the same time, it could be a big challenge. And I will say for some of you, you might just be connected to a water sign. So Pisces, I also link her to Cancer and Scorpio. That's my own little thing. But moving to the center, we have the Page of Swords, the Watcher of the Tarot deck. Now, for a portion of you, if you are connected to an air sign, there could be multiple air signs showing up here, or just people. Like people. It's like 3 of the 4 cards we've pulled throughout this whole reading. Queen of Swords, King, Page, like it's a lot of other individuals showing up here in this week's reading. So we're going to have to look at the significance of that. But pages represent new. They're an energy that's not fully realized just yet. And when it comes to pages, I think of communication, but also learning. So whether it's learning new lessons or how one communicates with themselves. The thing with the Page of Swords, though, is that they're much more defensive than the other pages. Like, so this one is very skeptical. It's watching, it's keeping an eye on something. That's why it's called the Watcher of the Tarot deck. So of course we could be seeing some sort of talk here with the Page of Swords, but at the same time, it's either something that you are keeping a very close eye on. Maybe someone's keeping an eye on you. When this card shows up, that could be very possible, like keeping tabs. That doesn't always have to be a bad thing, but it's like, I'm watching, I got my eye on this. Okay, so again, it could be a situation as well. So we'll want to look at this Page of Swords and see what's happening. And it's also interesting to note that the High Priestess and the Page, not a lot of talking here. There's a lot of like withheld information. Moving to the back end, we have the King of Swords himself. So kings represent control of their respective suits. So remember I said swords, they represent logic, the mind, communication. This king is very structured in its way, a lot of similarities to the queen. So this is someone trying to control their mind, control how they think, get their head on straight when this King of Swords is here. Similar to the Queen, he is very serious. He is no BS. He is no nonsense, very straightforward to the point and strategic. So with all this energy, I mean, for some of you, there could be a situation, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense to you. I get a lot of fact finding, diving deeper, digging for information. That could be a big thing when we have this mixture of energy. So we're going to have to see what's up with this king. And just like the queen, a challenge with the king is that sometimes, yeah, it could just represent a serious situation. But at the same time, it could be someone that's a little too harsh, right? So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Leo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here and see what's going on for the lovely Leos. Let's see what's up. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that High Priestess. And if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Leo, you drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, High Priest this time. What's happening? Where's the High Priestess here? Thank you. Okay. All right, so we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So I feel for a lot of you, this is some sort of path opening up that you may not expect to. Okay, either a piece of information or an individual, or it's like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. So for a portion of you, it could either be an unexpected or surprising situation. That could be very, very true with what we're seeing here in the beginning. And I want to mention with the Nine of Wands in reverse, if this was in the upright, then all this energy in the front would be clamped down because it's very skeptical. This is very skeptical. The Page, very skeptical. Like all the energy has a ton of skepticism. So when I see this, for some Leos out there, there might be a situation where you're like, I don't buy it. Or there's something you're just looking at in a really detailed manner. It's like, no, I need to see more details. Like something seems off here. But when the Nine of Wands shows up in reverse, that represents a breakthrough or something coming forth. If he was in the upright, this represents blockages, rejections. So in reverse, it's something coming forth. So underneath this card of, you know, secrecy and hidden and the unexpected, I feel like for a lot of you, there could be certain situations popping up that are surprising or unexpected. Now, I do feel for a lot of you, this can be a good thing because with this showing up in reverse, I feel like it could be a path forward that you weren't expecting. So just know for certain things you might be dealing with in this time, it might be easier than you thought it would be, or an alternate route might open up. Okay, so I like it for the most part. Okay, so we're just going to keep it moving here. So let's put that Nine of Wands back down right there. Yeah, it's that path opening up or just something coming forth. So again, whether it's a situation or all those good things I saw too. Let's see what that Page of Swords has. Some of you could even just be information. So if there is something that you're like digging for more information, I mean, very possible. But let's see why the Page of Swords is here. What's going on? What's going on with that page? Someone watching you. I mean, Leo, I say this whenever it shows up in a Leo reading. You are one of the few signs in the zodiac where just naturally coded into your zodiacal makeup, you attract attention. Okay, now that's a good thing sometimes, but sometimes that could be a not so good thing, right? Like it all really depends. But that's a big common theme I see. And I give a lot of personal readings to Leos. Like there's just something about the energy I connect with well. And in these personal readings, I see this often, like this Page of Swords, looking at the Strength card. That's one of your cards. So again, whether it's a situation that you're really keeping a close eye on, I do feel for a lot of you, there might be someone that's watching your moves. Okay, or just keeping an eye, right? It doesn't mean it's anything nefarious. It doesn't mean it's anything bad, but it is just something to know that you could be underneath the microscope. Now, I'll move over here in a moment and we'll see like, okay, is this anything you need to be concerned about? I don't think so just yet. But when I see your card underneath the Page of Swords, I mean, for a small portion of you, maybe there is something you're purposely holding back from as well. So if I were to give this an alternate meaning, let's put the other one to the side for now, like there's someone keeping an eye or watching something. With the Page of Swords and your card Strength, this could be purposely holding back. Okay, so whether that's you or somebody else where it's like, no, I'm just going to hold back a little bit longer. I'm not saying something on purpose. So I'm going to hold back. I hold my own cards. I'm not going to reveal it until I want to. So, and listen, lots of different messages. So we're just going to keep moving. We're going to put that Strength card down right here. And let's see what that King of Swords has to say. A lot of stuff here. Lots and lots of stuff. So why is the King of Swords in the mix for the lovely Leos? And then we'll do our recap. So what's the King of Swords doing? Okay. All right. So this could be someone that just wants to have a plan for every possible scenario. Or this is somebody that never, ever, ever wants to be caught off guard again. Or this is someone that's just very particular. We have the Tower. Okay, now that's an energy of shock. It's something that comes in like a rocket. It's like boom type of energy. So again, I don't feel it's like super harsh for all of you, but when I see the King of Swords, the planner, the strategist with the Tower, it's someone that wants to have a plan for every eventuality. Okay, so for some of you, whatever situations you might be dealing with in this time, plan for the good, but also plan for the bad. Plan for the middle route if nothing happens at all. I feel like for a lot of you, having a strategy in place for any eventuality is the best. Does that mean you have to make moves on them all right this second? No, but there is a strong energy here towards planning. Now, the Tower is Scorpio energy. Okay, we are in the time of Scorpio at the time of this reading, so this is another message that could come through for a lot of you. If you're not connected to Scorpio, when I see the King of Swords and the Tower, it just might say in this time you need to keep yourself emotionally detached from a situation, or keep it logical. Okay, like use your mind, use your logic in any situation that crosses you in this time, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Don't go off emotion, don't go off a feeling, go across what makes logical sense. Okay, because there is a lot of connecting the dots here as well. So there's a lot happening in this week's reading. I don't feel like this is a shocking thing that's going to come and shake the foundation for all of you. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. Lots of things happening here, lots of different people, which seems okay. But moving to position number 1 here, we have the High Priestess with the 9 of Wands in reverse. So I did mention for some of you, yeah, maybe it's a surprise or unexpected situation. But for another portion of you, if you're dealing with something that's a little difficult, this does feel like a way forward opens up for you that you didn't quite see just yet. It's kind of like outside the box thinking, where it's like, okay, well, this way seems blocked, but this path opens up like that. It's just something opening up out of nowhere, which feels okay. Moving to the center, we have the Page of Swords. And yeah, once again, this does feel like a situation that just you don't quite see coming, but it's not bad completely. Into the center, we have the Page of Swords with the Strength card, your card. The second message I got off this was that, like, yeah, there could be something or someone you're purposely holding back, or you're holding your cards like, okay, I'm not going to show my hand until I have to. But I'm also getting the vibe that there could be someone that has eyes on. That could be just watching your moves for whatever reason, like still checking in. On the back end, we have the King of Swords with the Tower. So again, planning for every eventuality, good, bad, and everything in between, needing to have a strategy ready to go. Whether that's how somebody acts or that's something you need to do, that's really up to the situation you're going through. But also I get the vibe with this Scorpio energy connected that in this time, especially in the short term, you need to use your logic with various different situations, as opposed to just going off instinct alone when we see the High Priestess. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. That was layered. This reading felt very layered, and I feel like if I wanted to, I could keep reading this same exact spread for like another 20 minutes. There's like a lot there. But let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. If you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get it going here. Let's get this shadow card out. Let's go. Thank you. Okay, 9 of Pentacles, usually a very good grounded type of vibe. When I see the 9 of Pentacles, it could link into career and money, of course. The 9 of Pentacles is an energy of independence. In its positive sense, it can represent blessings and abundance. So this is good. That could tell me certain situations you're dealing with right now could be a blessing in disguise. Okay, so you could take solace in that. But for a portion of you, when we look at the shadow side of the 9 of Pentacles, you see this image here. It's a person, they're within a cage. This is a very grounded energy. It's immovable. So for a portion of you, maybe there's a situation where someone or something about it isn't really moving fast, or it's just very stubborn. This could be a situation that could stick around for a while. Okay, like it's not really a fast mover, even though we have like a tower showing up in the main part of the spread. But for some of you, you could definitely claim this as a positive. This could be a silver lining. I saw that within the reading for you as well. So very independent though, too. So I like it. But yeah, Leo, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the November subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my all-time favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you feel is the most misunderstood? And if you're new to tarot completely, which one do you have a little trouble with understanding its meaning? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.